What if I told you that one of the most infamous serial killers in history left behind a trail of cryptic ciphers and puzzles, daring us to uncover his identity? For over 50 years, the Zodiac Killer has haunted the minds of investigators, true crime enthusiasts, and armchair detectives. But what if the truth is more elusive than we've ever imagined? The Zodiac's cryptic messages, some still unsolved, hint at a mind that thrived on chaos and confusion. But who was he, and why did he send these messages? Was he taunting law enforcement, or was he trying to communicate with someone specific? Welcome to the dark world of the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer, a name that has become synonymous with mystery and terror, began his killing spree in the late 1960s in Northern California. His first confirmed victims, teenagers Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were shot on December 20th, 1968. But it wasn't until the killing of Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Ann Shepard in 1969 that the Zodiac's disturbing pattern began to unfold. What sets this case apart from other serial killings is the Zodiac's need for recognition. He didn't just kill, he wanted to play a game with the authorities and the public, a game that involved cryptic letters, ciphers, and an obsession with attention. But why the need to communicate? What was the Zodiac trying to say to the world? And why has it been so difficult for us to solve his puzzles? These questions are at the heart of the Zodiac's eerie legacy. Let's take a look at the timeline of the Zodiac's crimes, a chilling pattern of attacks that stretched over several years. The first known murder in 1968 was followed by another shooting in 1969. But the Zodiac didn't stop there. His killings took a more theatrical turn with the infamous Lake Berryessa stabbing, where he left a symbol on the car door and a chilling message. What makes this attack so unnerving isn't just the brutality, but the Zodiac's complete disregard for his victims. He attacked them in broad daylight, in front of witnesses, and seemed to take pleasure in the fear he instilled. As the bodies piled up, so did the letters. Each was more bizarre and disturbing than the last, with the Zodiac boasting of his murders and threatening more. But the Zodiac wasn't content with just killing. He left behind a cryptic challenge, ciphers that to this day remain unsolved. The first cipher, sent in 1969, became a symbol of the Zodiac's twisted intelligence, and these ciphers were no ordinary codes. They were intricate, demanding the kind of focus and brilliance that only a mind as dark as the Zodiac's could devise. The Z340 cipher, one of the most famous and unsolved, was only cracked in 2020 after more than 50 years. But even with new revelations, questions remain. What messages do these ciphers contain? Is there a hidden identity, a further clue, a sick joke in the letters? And what about the other ciphers that remain unsolved? Are they simply an elaborate game, or is there something far darker hiding in those lines of code? Over the years, countless suspects have been proposed, from the well-known Arthur Lee Allen to the mysterious theories surrounding others, but none have ever been definitively tied to the Zodiac. Each theory brings new possibilities. Some claim the Zodiac was someone close to the victims, a man who knew his targets well. Others believe it was a complete stranger, someone who operated in the shadows. Could the Zodiac have been someone who blended seamlessly into society? Or was he, as many suggest, a brilliant psychopath who hid in plain sight, using his intelligence and cunning to elude the police? As with any unsolved case, theories abound. Could the Zodiac Killer be one of the most infamous suspects in history, like Arthur Lee Allen? Or could it be someone else entirely? Some theorists argue that Allen, despite being a prime suspect, may have been innocent, a victim of overzealous investigators. Others suggest the Zodiac was much more elusive, perhaps even operating under a pseudonym, creating a false identity that remains locked in history. Each new theory adds a new layer to the mystery, with the case becoming even more tantalizing as time passes. Every potential suspect leads to more dead ends, more speculation, and more unsolved questions. What is it about the Zodiac Killer that continues to fascinate us decades after the last confirmed murder? Is it the chilling idea that he may still be out there living among us? Or is it the mind games, the ciphers, the letters, the taunting that keeps us hooked? The psychological impact of the Zodiac case is immense. For some, it's the allure of the puzzle, decoding the ciphers, finding the hidden clues. For others, it's the fear of the unknown, wondering how someone could commit such heinous acts and never be caught. The Zodiac plays on our deepest fears, the idea that evil can lurk anywhere, even in the most mundane places. What do you think? Do you have a theory about the Zodiac's true identity? Or have the ciphers and letters forever taunted us with an unsolvable riddle? It's a question that still lingers in the minds of so many, isn't it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear what you think, and if you're as fascinated by these unsolved mysteries as I am, don't forget to like and subscribe, because we're just getting started, and there's so much more to uncover together. The Zodiac may be gone, but his shadow still looms. His legacy endures in the silence, the whispers. The question that haunts us all remains: will we ever truly solve the puzzle? Or are we forever bound to wonder? If you're intrigued by these stories, if you want to join me on this journey, hit that subscribe button. We've got so many more deep dives ahead, and I promise you won't want to miss them.